All right, good morning, everybody. Still getting the final thing set here. Of course, we always love technology early in the morning, but you know what? We got it. We're live. Here we go. Everybody watching all across the country, hopefully you find your favorite player here on the stream this morning, and you can root them on to a chance to win a singles title. That's what they're here for. In addition to all the players, we've also got 16 men's and women's teams that have made the trek here to USA Bowl in Dallas for their shot at ITC Immortality. It is nice that we actually have players' names on there. That's fantastic, and we can follow along with everybody. here we go. New headset. Now we can hear. I can hear you. Oh, no, I can hear you. You can hear me. And I can hear myself. So, yeah, great point, Ryan Howard. First time ever in collegiate history, we got all 4 sectionals going live at the same time. So you can watch every single sectional across the country. Smyrna, Fairview Heights. And I should remember where the other one is, but I don't off the top of my head. But you know what? It's on the YouTube channel, Bowl TV. You can find them. Right now we're here in Dallas, USA Bowl. And this is game 1 of 6 in the qualifying for the ITC. So 4 guys out of this field. It's all based on the ratios and numbers of players across the other sectionals across the country. So 4 out of this group here, after 6 games, will advance to the collegiate finals next month. So yeah, some of you already know, we have the inside bowling crew. Mike Flanagan, he's out east. I think Smyrna. Well, it's east of Dallas anyway. A little bit north, probably a little chillier, but I don't know. It's pretty cold here this morning. And we've got Emil Williams and Aaron Smith also scattered across the country, bringing you collegiate bowling action here on this Friday morning. Eric Lounsberg, 4 screens of bowling. You got to love that. So let's sit back, get settled in, and hang on for the ride, which is the ISC Collegiate. And what do we have here? Cody Stephens. We do not know the pattern. I believe it's released afterwards. I think I read in some of the production notes. They're hooking from what I saw in practice. Let's get a look at some of the equipment maybe some of the players are throwing here shortly. Some surface to get the ball to slow down and face up. A little bit of urethane. Looks like a hot cell there for Chad Conard. Be some new faces here. I'll have to remember who they all are. Some new faces to me. I know a few of these players from some different collegiate events across the country and in my travels. Jake Buttroff is here helping the Grand Canyon University team. I think if you're a bowling fan, you know a little bit about Mr. Buttroff. He's had a pretty good year so far, I would say. And late 10-pin action for Edward Harris. Come on, you got a smile on that one. Kristen McNeely, Spring Hill College. .58 lane center here at USA Bowl in the Dallas suburbs. Top four advance after the 6th game block to the finals in Lincoln, Nebraska in April. Results. Click on the link below your screen there. You can find them. Bowl.com has all sorts of information. And don't forget to follow us on social media. Twitter.com/USBC, Facebook.com/USBC. And keep up to date on everything happening in the collegiate bowling world. Matt Anderson chiming in from Lincoln, Nebraska. Who else is out there watching? Who you rooting for? Where are you at? Plug your laptop into your big screen with a nice HDMI, and you can watch a lot of bowling. 5-bagger out of Kyle there on lane 37. Kyle Semi out of Grand Canyon University. Left off the hand, high through the face, big 4. Not going to be a lot of room out there. Maybe when they break him down a little bit, depending on how they break him down. We'll see potentially some decent scores. I'm going to say in the middle of the block. Historically, that's kind of how it works. A little slow start. Get them in games, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5. And then just kind of hang on towards the end. If you're out there watching, share the links. Hit that share button out there. Let everybody know that we've got some of the best collegiate bowlers in the world right here in Dallas. One of 4 sectionals going on across the country here on Bowl TV. Sonny Geronimo has got a push or go left, and it stayed right in the middle. That could have been worse. 6'10", that's a makeable spare. All right, Ryan Howard, good morning. Rooting on William Penn. Been a good year for William Penn fans. Matt O'Grady picking up a major title, a Willie P. alum. Some of the other schools here this weekend: West Texas, Hastings, Southwest Christian, San Jose, McKendree, Morningside College. So something I'm learning, Newman is also here. Weber's got some players. So there's 16 men's and ladies teams that are qualified on the team side based on their points, but also as individuals, any other player that's registered can come and bowl this sectional even if their team is not registered. So we've got some teams here bowling the single side that aren't bowling on the team side. Kyle looking for 6. Is that going to go? Oh, could have been just a 7 or just a 10, and it's both. So a lot of urethane going down the lane. Pitch blacks, hot cells. Some other big balls, a lot of surface to get him to slow down. Brad Ernest rooting on Hastings College. All right, Brad, thanks for joining us this morning. And if that 2-8's not hard enough, the 2-pin actually slid over a little bit. And it's going to hide that 8. Makes this one a little bit tougher. So you can get a good view of that. Here we go, a little close up. Look at how that 2-pin slid over there. Nicely done. Morning, Morgan. Cameron Smith out of Grand Canyon. Off to a rough start, just 1 strike, a couple opens. The ball's got a hook. Cody Stephens of West Texas A&M. Boy, that pair is going fast. All 5 a pair, 1 less than some of the others. And they're throwing some strikes. Angie Elkins rooting on some of the Weber players. Yeah, a few of the Weber boys I know are here. I'm not sure if maybe a few ladies as well making the trip to this sectional from Winter Haven, Florida. Wichita State in attendance here this weekend. Hastings, Kansas Wesleyan. Ottawa University. Well, that's saving a game. Christian McNeely out of Spring Hill College. 203. 8 strike, 203. That could have been a little bit of anything, but he'll take it. A little close up here on this shot. Oh, mixing them up. All right. Couple more strikes. Harris can grind out a little 2-0 game. Just a bit outside. I haven't watched a lot of Chad's shots ever he gets, and that's where he's playing. He's got that gutter spare in the 5th and a double, so he's playing that outside line. It's a pretty aggressive urethane ball, high flaring piece there in that hot cell. Risk reward. There you go. Just like that, game 1 in the books for the players on 37-8. Next group's already moving in. 6 on the pair on 39 and 40, so they're a few frames behind. You know what? 6 games and everybody bowls all 6, so we've got nowhere to go. It's a good looking shot. Oh, just got a hold. Wow. I don't think David Decker missed by much on that shot at all. Sonny Geronimo. UNLV. Yeah, that's a good looking shot. Staying low, staying firm, letting the ball roll. I like it. Oh, gonna change my mind. Try again. And another big four. Seen a couple of those. 242 off the left for Billy Goodman. Good start. Nice big ball game there. Frame action on the right. Coming to the other feature pair here. Next game, Matt Heistad out of Morningside College. Tyler Cortez-Shank out of Wichita State. Alec Carr out of Midland. Justin opens in the 6th, strikes in the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and into 230s. Nice ball game. Last year's ITC champion, Sidney Brummett, Nicholas Pate. Sidney out of Wichita. They're here competing in the team event. Stratford, New Jersey, Smyrna, Tennessee, Dallas, Texas, and Fairview Heights, Illinois. All that information available. Scores, men, women, singles today, and team events over the next 2 days. All available at bowl.com. Check it out. I'm on the page. You see scores from all over the country and see if the scores are similar from house to house. I believe it's going to be the same pattern. Of course, different parts of the country, different weather conditions have an effect on it. Of course, different lane surfaces. Ethan Resch, Kansas Wesleyan. That ball's got a push and another big four. That's 3 of them already that we've seen here this morning. The big four is popular leave. I'm not sure they really want to have a contest who can leave the most, but we're seeing a few of them. Nick Sylvester, 233, the big game off to the right. Nice start for that young man. Out of Iowa Central Community College. Tyler Schenk out of Wichita on lane 38. That looked too easy. First group done with game 1 now on 39:40. Second group on their way in here. That's going to be Jacob Karsten, Kyle Combs, Zach Carr, Riker Percival, and Brandon Rusum. And they're ready to go. I'm ready to go. Y'all ready to go? Let's hope so. Because we're going 310 conversions. You got it? Nope. And a 310 for Justin. Everybody's taking turns with a 310 in the big fours. Jacob Karsten out of Wichita. That's pretty smooth. Is that going to get up? Yeah, I didn't think so. Maybe a little bit too far right. Everybody's having success early on. Is bumped in a little bit, but getting it to the dries. Around that 40-foot mark at about the 5 board. Rangefinders down there, you can see. That's how you make the 310. Alex Carr out of Midland on lane 38. Got a handful of that one. Schedule for the weekend, we've got the ladies starting their singles qualifying at 3:30 this afternoon, a local time, so about 4:30 on the East Coast. Tomorrow morning, we're going to kick things off with 8:30 a.m. start. First of four-game Baker blocks, so 16 Baker games on Saturday. Excuse me, 8 on Saturday, 8 on Sunday. 16 would be too many. But a couple different blocks, that's what it is. And then wrap things up and teams hit the road Sunday night and head back home. We will have 4 teams on the ladies and the men's side qualified for the ITC Championships in Lincoln, Nebraska next month. But a long way until we get there. Men's singles right now. Matt Heisted out of Morningside College. Tyler Schenk, front 4 to start. We'll be able to click on the results. bowl.com/sectionals. You can check scores from all the different regions across the country. Justin, that ball's got a hook. Oh, goodness. My bad. Wow. That came back with authority. Brandon Russom, the light mixer. And we're going to get that 9-pin put back up on lane 38. to say, looking at a 4-pin's pretty gutsy. And never a doubt. Ethan Resch looking for another strike here this game. That ball looks pretty good. Keeping it fairly tight. 3/4 of a bucket. Tyler Schenk. Looking for the front half here, game 2. Keep an eye on those scores and let you know as soon as I find them. And the streak ends at 6 for Tyler. She's almost another 9-pin for Justin. Looking at his face like, what, are you kidding me? But I guess if you're asking about 56 feet, if he had that, he'd say, I don't know. Zach Vaughn don't have the scores in just yet. Looks like we got a couple groups just into frame 2. Greg Young's got to be a favorite out of this region. Tyler Schenk's got to be a favorite out of this region. Wesley Lowe. You never know. Somebody could get hot in the 6-game block and come out of nowhere. Zach Carr from Midland, the lefty. That's pretty solid. Looks like he caught her on it just a little bit and goes high. All sorts of Ethan Resch fans here. Ethan just needs to find that strike line. Got around it. Ooh, big break. Big break. That could have been 4 through the face or a big 4. And it's just a strike. Jacob Carson out of Wichita. Solid game going spared, double, spared, double. Well, you don't get any extra for making a pattern here, so why don't you just strike now and put up a good ball game. That's got to go. Wow, that could have been high as well. Starting to get a little carry down maybe with all the urethane we're seeing down the lane. It's possible. Get that ball to hold. Scores will be posted, bowl.com. Might see a little bit of buffering here. The signal's kind of getting a little flaky on us. We're doing everything we can to keep you going through. Crystal clear. 249 for Tyler Schenk. Nice game. Jacob Karsten. Hang on. All right. Already in the two teens. 220 or 30 still possible out there for Jacob. Take a peek over to our left. Off camera. Let's see, 230s. Hang on. And just like that, we're coming into game 2. 6-game block, top 4 out of this 148-player field qualify for the ISC championships. Tom, they have not announced the pattern. It's not going to be announced until, I believe, after the event is the way it works here. So let the ball be your guide, that old famous saying. Coming up for game 3 as this group finishes up, and that ball's got to hang on. It does not. Jared Bratt is your next group coming up here in game number 3. 6 a pair on both sides. So 5 and 6 a pair across this 58-lane center here in Dallas. Welcome Sun Valley Lanes. We know we've got a lot of people watching all over the country. Hopefully you get to see your favorite player, root on your favorite player or team here today, tomorrow, and Sunday. Yes, we got a lot of bowling action. If you're a collegiate bowler, collegiate bowling fan, or just a bowling fan in general, Bowl TV is the place to be here this weekend. No question. No question at all. Zach Carr takes care of that. In the 180s. Now we're back here in game 3. We go and check scores. See what we got. Results coming soon. That means they're working on it. We're only 2 games in of a long weekend of competitive bowling here on the collegiate side. The ISC men's singles here in Dallas. And give another rundown of the players joining us here for game 3. Get the right page in my hand and we'll get it. Jared Bradshaw out of Cumberland. Josh Fain out of William Penn. Rusty Johnston, West Texas A&M. This is on 37-8. Brian Halen, McKendree. Corey Luce out of Hastings. Quinn Mason out of Southwestern Christian. 39-40. Matt Hicks out of Drury. Kellen Lavery out of West Texas A&M. Riley Riddell out of William Penn. Matt Farber out of McKendree. Kelsey Peck, Southwest Christian. Jonas Starmer, Hastings College. That's who we got. And they're ready to go. Southwest Christian University on the left side of our screen, and that is, where did it go? Where did my sheet go? Quinn Mason. That's who it is. Jonah Steimer off to your right for Hastings College. Take care of that 4-pin. A little chilly in here this morning. Hopefully you're all staying warm, watching from the comfort of your own home, or maybe you're at another sectional watching the shows. 4 live broadcasts on Bowl TV happening simultaneously. First time ever to have that happen. All the sectionals for your viewing pleasure. And I think we got things figured out for now. So hang tight. The internet is always our friend and our enemy. Drives us insane and makes us happy all at the same time. Game 3 action here. The Dallas sectional. 148 players signing up here for their chance to make it to Lincoln, Nebraska next month for the ISC finale. Oh, thanks for the information, Cole. I did not realize that. I know some of the West Texas A&M Buffaloes, but didn't know that Rusty won an Eagle. Nice job, Rusty Johnson. Oh, tripping 3 or 4 pins out of there. Hey, strike's a strike. Take it. Taking a run. Can't get them back. One of the rules of bowling. If they fall down, you have to take them. get around a little bit. Ball's just going to creep a touch high. See a lot of washouts and a lot of splits. So you just still got to feed the ball into that spot down lane to get to face up properly in the 1-3 pocket. As soon as we get those scores updated, we'll get them to you. It takes a little time to get things situated here. Don't want to put out the bad information, but when I have them, I'll share them with you and let you know when they're online. Kellen Lavery out of West Texas A&M. That was Rusty. We'll get him right. Brian handling out McKendry. Open the last shot, giving out a little bit of room, and comes back. Very nice. Couple strikes in 10th, gets him in the 230s if he can get there. Matt Hicks out of Drury University. That one was left off his hand. He knew it. And pesky little 5-pin. Well, that's not a simple spare. You need to go just dead straight at this thing. On this pattern, you can miss it right, you can miss it left. I'm thinking I just chuck it right down the middle. Don't even mess around with it. Josh Fain out of William Penn up on the left side of your screen. And that's how you can miss a left. A lot of friction in the middle lane. Left off your hand, left down lane, and that's a tough one to swallow, but you can kind of see it coming. 5 pins might be a piece of cake on your house shot back in league, but you get on this stuff for patterns, it's anything but a gimme. Good look at this player moving way left. Gonna hook back? It is not. Good morning, Jordan Nasberg. This is your good buddy Craig Elliott here, live from USA Bowl here in Dallas at the Dallas Sectionals. Where are you hiding, Jordan? Hopefully you're not in the hospital still. If you are, get the heck out of there. Get yourself better. A couple of your old buddies here with the Grand Canyon University team in attendance. Come to the halfway point here, the 6-game block here in Dallas. Corey Crouch, a lot of great players in Houston. You can go out and help get some lessons from. Good here, Jordan. Yeah, Jake and Ben are here. Running the concourse, rooting on GCU. But, get yourself healthy, and we'll see you again later this year at a bowling tournament somewhere across the country. Interesting to see a lot of players trying to creep left, and boy, it's just too early for that. Just too early. Yeah, we'll see you in Smyrna, Jordan. Absolutely. That's tough. A little washout and 6-pin still stays. It's not fair. Good run at it. Quinn Mason, after a couple of opens. Wow, it's strike or nothing for Quinn. Gotta get things lined up here. Gotta make some of those spares. 158 without a spare. And a nice break, a late 7-pin falls. But that 3-6-10, boy, that's not always that fun. Matt Farber. McKendry. Let's make this 3-6-10, get into the 160s. Still seeing a 230s almost every game on one of these two pairs, so their scores are there. Farber just trying to get any extra pins he can right now. He had to be one of the guys you expect to make a decent run in this event here, but this 168 with a strike here, game 3. Just sting a little bit. I don't know. Just a little bit, maybe a little too responsive of a ball there for Farber. Into game 3, that means game 4. See, I did that math in my head. Is coming up next. Ryan Kendall, Ethan Mickelson, Corey Klossing, Dennis Eddy, Charles Weeks, Wesley Lowe, Cameron Peterson, Nathan Brantley, Brandon Fries, and Justin Whistler will be joining us for 10 frames of bowling here in just a few minutes. Here in game 4 live. Bowl TV's coverage of the Dallas sectional here at USA Bowl in Dallas, Texas. Find your favorite player, cheer them on, root for the school, and have some fun watching collegiate bowling here today. There we go. Game 4 of 6. Coming your way right now. Ryan Kent of Wichita State. Ethan Mickelson, Morningside College. Corey Clausing, Newman. Dennis Eddy, Iowa Central Community College. Charles Weeks out of Weber. Wesley Lowe out of Wichita. Cameron Peterson, Morningside College. Nathan Brantley out of Newman. Brandon Fries, Iowa Central Community College. And Justin Whistler out of Weber on the left and right sides of your screens here in game number 4. Scores starting to come through from all different sections across the country. It looks like everything's figured out. Interesting that the player's going. We got a guy going for the deadwood. Most times guys step back. Nothing's going to phase him. That ball's got to go left or hold right. Yeah, see, that's why you wait. Just any distraction is a distraction. That was a good-looking shot from Nathan Brantley. Where is he from? Out of Newman. Wow. Didn't hear that ball hit the lane. I like that. Chat's getting a little quiet. What's happening out there? Who are you all rooting for? Any former collegiate bowlers out there in the chat? Watching and reminiscing about your days in the sport. Yeah, the ball had a whole lot of corner to catch up on. Charles Weeks out of Weber. Justin Whistler also out of Weber on the right side of your screen. Wesley Lowe doing what Wesley Lowe does. Strikes. Cole Schroyer, a West Texas Buffalo. Colin Green, a Hastings fan. I believe Hastings had an ISC winner, right? A couple years ago on the ladies' side. That is Wesley Lowe hooking the lane. He likes to do it. He's a pretty solid player out of the West Coast. Bowling for Wichita State. And those single pins are just things you just use. That'd drive me crazy if I was a coach. That's why I'm not a coach. Still drives me crazy though. Cole, are you still in the area? Are you going to bowl the Lubbock PBA stop this summer? It's always a good event. All right, Nathan Brantley off for a single pin miss. You got a double to get those pins back. Come on. What do you got? Ball's left. Oh, high flush. That was kind of good. But got to make that spare. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Shot from Ryan Kendall. It's time to figure something out for some of these players. Try to make a move, get in that top 4. We're past the halfway point now on this 6-game block. Yeah, be sure to stop by and say hi, Cole. And there's one way to make the 6-10. Probably not the way they draw it up in the classroom, but they're down. Look at that shot from Wesley Lowe. Maybe. Another reminder, update on the schedule, 3:30, the women start their competition. Same thing, 6 games, and top 4 make it. Tomorrow morning, 8:30, first to 4-game blocks. 8:30 and 1:45, and then right back at it, 7:45 Sunday morning until we get done, just before dinner time. And we'll find out what teams are going to make it to Lincoln, Nebraska. No 300 yet, I don't believe. Yeah, Cole, I think you're right. Something that slows down a little sooner. You don't need that big angle right here. Open frame for Wesley Lowe. The way these players are getting, though, you got to almost give the pocket away a little bit, but not too much. Maybe like a 17 to 7 or so type line. Kind of like that right there, but the ball just didn't quite make the right turn. I like that shot, though. That was Ryan Kennel out of Wichita State. And see Nathan Brantley a little bit deeper, but something that turns the corner a little bit harder and it goes through the face. So, you know, college events, you don't need any skid flippy big hooking balls. You know, just your benchmark balls, like the game breakers, the IQ tours. Some of the urethanes, we're seeing a lot of the urethane, which seems to be the way that these players migrate, keep them squared up a little bit longer, even, the X or the X squared. Balls that aren't going to just go violently off the spot, but you can control the mid lane with, and that ball's got a hook. Just the start of the weekend, and could be actually the end of some college bowling for some of these players. Some of these players that aren't in the team event here qualified this year in this Dallas sectional that are still bowling the singles event. If they're seniors, this could be their final event, so they want to go out with a bang and make a good showing and see if they can't make that top 4. Yeah, Felix, I think just spare ball. You just want to go hard and straight no matter what. Shouldn't be hooking too much. If your spare ball hooks too much on the house shots, I don't know. It shouldn't. Plastic doesn't hook a lot normally. Sun Valley Lanes, where these players are looking to go to, I believe, next month in Lincoln for ISC and ITC championships. Wesley Lowe got over top of that one. Ooh. All right. See the hand motion. You knew he kind of got around that one, but it laid off. A lot of revolutions, a lot of speed. Where did my Hastings bowling fan go? Emily was her name, right? Won the girls, the ladies singles a couple years ago. Wasn't she from Hastings? Maybe not. Just these 4-pair lanes is all we've got in play here today. And we'll get the majority of the field coming across in the 6-game block. Well, we'll see what, 6 a pair, 612 times 6, 72. We'll see about half the field. There we go, Emily Eckhoff. Thanks, Cole. See? Memory still works at times. Got to get those targets. Colin, you got me on that one, but I'll tell you what, bowl.com, you can find all the past years' ITCs and ISCs info. Find out who those players are. Sydney Brummett won the ladies last year. Nick Pate for the men. Cameron Peterson from Morningside. Take care of that 10 pin. Hang on. Oh. Iowa Central's Brandon Freese. Looking for the double-double, 4 in a row. Ball's got to go. It did. Wow, they're going to have to lay off. Cool. We got Jake Buttriff here. He's coaching Grand Canyon University, helping with that program. Of course, a lot of pros here in the Dallas area. Westmont, not too far down the road. Anthony Simonson, he's on his way over to the Euro Challenge with Kyle Troop. I think they left this morning. Nathan Bohr in the house. He's one of the coaches for Wichita. One of the best regional players in the history of the regional program and a good professional in his own right. So yeah, there's a few pros around. Jake might sit down and chat in a little bit when he swings back by this direction. He's had a good year as always. He came out of the Arizona State program, so a college alum. He knows all about how these tournaments go. And he's had some great success. Couple of frames away from being 4 games in the 6-game block. Could be 2 to go. .204 pace, a couple of strikes, maybe in the 220s. A little soft and the old Greek church. Yeah, this is not a forgiving pattern at all right now. It looked earlier like there might be some scores available here in this part of the block, but oh, I don't know, just not seeing it. Still a lot of friction out there. Got to get the ball going through the front of the lane, just like that, at the right spot. And somehow get it down lane and be able to recover. Craig Elliott here from Bowl Stream TV, live on Bowl TV. 104 sectionals being broadcast this year, part of the ISC ITC tournaments. We're here in Dallas. We've also got crews in Fairview Heights, Illinois at St. Clair Bowl, Stratford, New Jersey at 30 Strikes, and Smyrna, Tennessee at the Smyrna Bowling Center, bringing you 4 consecutive live streams simultaneously, seeing all the collegiate players all at the same time. Maybe makes up for that Greek church tripping to 4-9. Ryan Kendall. Wesley able to finish off for 2 teams. What's that, 214? After that split in the 6th. That's a rough finish. Not easy to do, taking the head pin off that big washout. 198. Well, there's a player that I think has a chance to put up some big numbers. He's got the right ball shape. It's just a matter of getting the ball through the fronts at the right spot and not having any big hiccups. And they're ready to go over on 39 and 40. Who we got coming in? We have Wyatt Clark out of West Texas A&M, Trenton Johnston from Hastings, Austin Young, William Penn, Robert Hill, Southwestern Christian, Adrian Mercado, San Jose State, Charlie Reed from McKendree. And that's Charlie right there. I think he was surprised at what that ball didn't do. You should realize he just had Wesley low on this pair. I think Wesley was throwing urethane, hooking the whole lane, so he's probably got a little bit of wiggle there. Might want to move left and stay in front of him. Starting game 5, Neil Cooley. They're finishing up game 4 on the left, and we're going to get game 5 of 6 underway right now. We already started over on the right side. Wyatt Clark out of West Texas. Robert Hill, Southwestern Christian. We'll move on to Lincoln, Nebraska. Trenton Johnston out of Hastings on lane 39. Make that 7-pin. Almost doing it the tricky way on that washout, but Not this time. It's just that simple. If you let it be. Asta Young on a William Penn. 10 back. Andrew Mercado, San Jose State. Come on. Nice adjustment off the last shot there. They only got half of them. Grand view. I've not seen any grand views yet. They may be in a different sectional. Just go to the sectional page there on bowl.com and you can see where all the teams are at. Daniel Cass is out of West Texas A&M. Riley Johnson from Hastings. Alexander Kostrick, William Penn. Jonathan Hill, Southwestern Christian. Nate Maxson, San Jose State. James Watson from McKendree. Starting here now on 37 and 38. Nathan Mason out of San Jose State right there. That ball's got to push. You knew it. Into game 5, 6-game block here. 4 players make it to Lincoln, Nebraska. Ladies, the women take their chance here at 3:30 with their own 6-game block. Trenton Johnston looking for a double. Got a spare, he's got a split, he's got a strike. And looking for a second spare. 2-4-7. Left-hand version of the 3-6-10. Never a fun one to shoot at. All right, the old super washout. It's gone. Nicely done. These a little bit tougher scoring patterns. Spares are huge. Alexander Kostrick, William Penn, he does not convert that. Wyatt Clark's turn out of West Texas A&M. Spare the first ball in the left lane. Can he find the 1-3 pocket hand strike here on the right? Nathan Mazon strikes. Jonathan Hill out of Southwestern Christian. On lane 37. Well, Eric Woodward, that's always the irritating thing, right? There's either not enough or there's too many thrown it. I don't know. I think just any ball you can control the first half of the lane with is going to work. Just not too angular down lane. That seems to be where these players are getting in trouble. Historically, the guys that throw urethane are the ones that want to really just hit it so it doesn't overreact in the mid lane, but that's, I don't know. I'm not sure how that plays into what I'm seeing here right now. I mean, you go with a big ball and let it roll out. You still just got to give the puck away a little bit, though, and trying to do it with urethane where you're expecting it to hook down lane if you miss. That's it's risk reward. And, I don't know. few people can get away with it, no doubt about it. But the majority of the field, I don't see it happening. Not the way this pattern's playing. All right, through 3, Charlie Reed from McKendree, our leader. He is over on lane 40. Spare 4-bagger. He's going to hang on to that lead. Looks like he's looking to say, hey, this is mine. Joseph Grondin, Wichita State, plus 79. 1 pin behind Charlie Reed. Tyler Schenk out of Wichita, 672. Wesley Lowe, 666. Your top 4 McKendree and 3 Wichita players. Well, 2 McKendrees and 5 Wichitas round out the top 7. 6 in the top 9 for Wichita, so they're off to a great start. Three game totals are up right now at bowl.com. Charlie Reed, Joseph Grondin, Tyler Schenk, and Wesley Lowe, the current top 4. But Wesley is, 18 pins ahead of Billy Goodman out of McKendree. That's through 3. Brittany Brown, the good news is you can watch the archive. As soon as we're done, it's up there. It's live. All the Bowl TV broadcasts are archived immediately. We got 4 streams going right now all across the country. And you can watch them all at once or watch them all at your leisure when you get the time. Women's singles, 3:30 this afternoon, right here in Dallas, 4:30 Eastern time. As we are kind of the halfway point of game 5, 6-game block. Charlie Reed coming up on the right side of your screen out of McKendree. Our leader after 3 at plus 80. That was game 4 scores. Got a solid game going here. Lane 40 just keeps spitting out the pins. More deadwood. Get that thing care of us. Find out what's happened on 37 to 38 right now. Players trying to fill some frames. Make up some ground on leaders. Kevin Williams, great question. And yes, I can't answer that. It's just for you, buddy. So it all depends on the number of players signed up. This is the smallest regional, 148 guys. So 4 men, 4 women. Smyrna is going to take 7 men and 6 women. The Stratford Regional out east is 7 and 7. And Fairview is taking 6 men and 7 women. So that's 24 men, 24 women from across the country. And it's all just a ratio based on number of entries in the field. Stratford has the biggest field. They will take a few extra players. Does that clear it up? It does for me. Great question. Any other questions? Fire away. That's what I'm here for. And all these players and teams have the same goal. Get to Lincoln next month for the ISC and ITC championship rounds. Try to win a title. Obviously, there's some favorites. You know, your McKendrees, your Wichitas. Newman is always up there on the team side. I'm trying to remember what all the teams that are qualified. But there's always rooms for new teams to make their way in and new players here in the singles side. This is singles today. The ISC. Take a look at that shot again. In the right spot. Just a quick crunch of all those numbers we just told you. There's got to be, you know, that sounds like well over 700 players signed up in the singles events across the country. Trying to make the top 24. Tough cut, but you know what? It's only room for so many. Some are here looking to win. Some are here looking to gain experience. You know, we got some freshmen, some sophomores. It's their first ISC. And you can learn a lot this year to bring it into the rest of your college career. Charlie Reed coming up on lane 39, though, who was our leader after 3 out of McKendree. A walk in the park for him so far. Let's take a look at that. Blow herself. Scores are up now, bowl.com. You can click on the Dallas tab under the men. I'm doing it right now. Charlie Reed, McKendree, our leader. Billy Goodman in 5th out of McKendree you're asking about. We got 5 Wichita players in the top 7. Grondin, Schenk, Lowe, Suzuki, and Hernandez. Jacob Karsten out of Wichita, Matt Dobbs out of UNLV, and Quincy Bruce out of William Penn round out the top 10 so far for the men. You know, halfway through, even if you're within 100 pins, you get legitimate shots. Let's jump down. You know, we're talking the top 25. Greg Young from McKendree needs to make a move. Dallas Leong out of UNLV, still within striking distance after 3. Matt Farber on McKendree. A few back. Jared Romek out of Wichita. A lot of players with some time, but last thing you want to do is be 50 back with 1 to go. Makes it awful tough. Powerful shot there from Alexander Kostrick at William Penn on lane 37. Shredding the rack. Nathan Mason, San Jose State. Yeah, double early on. 8-8-7, the last 3 first ball counts. That ball's going left. Ooh, threw it in the right spot. Scores are up through 3, Fran. I just looked them up. Bowl.com on the sectionals page. Sometimes you got to hit refresh, so make sure it updates. It's there. I just read them. Trust me. I wouldn't lead you astray. Stratford, New Jersey through 4. Matt Russo out of Weber leading. Andrew Dukowski, Patrick Schwartz, Justin Carl, Zach Potter, Tom Wisniewski, Robert Runk. Plus 62 the cut so far through 4. Up in Stratford, New Jersey. Over Smyrna, Tennessee. Just a game 1 so far. 246 out of Nicholas Wood, Bethel University. Matt Diamond out of Pikeville. Kyle McGrath, Lawrence Tech. Justin Dunn, Nolan Hughes, Chad Steven, Mike Kismall. 3 Robert Morris players chasing close behind there. And let's take a quick peek. What do we got up in Fairview Heights, Illinois? Jeffrey Holden, Tyler James, a couple Calumet players up towards the top. You knew that was Charlie Reed without even looking. The sound that ball, man, that was crisp. All right, test time. 5 games in the books. What's next? Who knows? Come on, who's first? All right, I'll tell you. Game 6. After these players finish up here on 37 and 38, Charlie Reed finishes 237. He's having a pretty nice day out of Bandera Bowl in San Antonio, Texas, the youngster Charlie Reed. Yeah, great comment, Noah. There's still a lot of great camaraderie, a lot of, handshakes, high fives, and I'm going to say smiles, but the players aren't getting too down. It's tough. I mean, you either got it or you don't right now. And if you can get your feet in the right spot and get the ball through the front lane good, you have a good chance of having a decent game. And a decent game right now is, 210, 2 teens. I mean, if you get lucky for 230s or 40s, well, hey, more power to you. Just try not to have that other game. Those are the ones that leave a mark. Looks like we'll have a little break and we'll get game 6 going here in a little bit. Wave the white flag. Final game coming up live on Bowl TV. Right here from USA Bowl in Dallas, Texas. All right, ready to go. Game 6. Danielle Chaldek out of Weber. Ronaldo Del Toro out of Grand Canyon. Joel Grondin, Wichita State. Matt Dobbs, UNLV. Joe Douglas, Louisiana Lafayette. And Jake Haffermels from Life University. And we've got another Jake just sitting down to join us, Jake Buttroff. Congratulations on another tour win, Jake.
Thank you, Craig. It's a pleasure to be out here coaching Grand Canyon University, and looking at scoring pace, they look pretty difficult out there.
You would be licking your chops at this right now. Guys throwing urethane, Wesley Lowe wheeling on it. That falls right into what you like to do. But it's been a while since you bowled college, but bring back any memories watching these players?
Oh, absolutely. You know, I only bowled 1 year collegiately at Arizona State, and it not only was it a pleasure bowling collegiately, but it was a really good experience to get in that environment of tournament competition. That was one way to do it, and just show you how difficult it is in this bowling environment.
Well, obviously you've made a good friend, from ASU, and Ben Canfield, who's the head coach at Grand Canyon. He's done a great job. It's the 3rd year now for that program?
Yeah, and Ben, as soon as he graduated from Arizona State University, he took over this program and handled it very well. He's turned the program incredibly well, and a lot of talent in the Grand Canyon University.
I remember the first time we saw them, I think they had like 6 or 7 players. It was a kind of a co-ed team, year one, and now they're really starting to grow and bring in some good players and field a couple of teams. So it's great to see that that work pay off for Ben. But what's the transition like from college to the professional level? I mean, we're seeing some players here that obviously will make that leap. A Greg Young, a Wesley Lowe, some of these players that are ready to go once their college career is done. But how different is it from the collegiate level at the high end to the professional level?
It's definitely a different environment. You're bowling collegiately against, probably about 50 to 70 colleges that across the nation, and you're bowling against multiple. It's a team environment. And when you go out to the big guns, you're basically fending for yourself, is what I call it. You're bowling against top-notch bowlers on the planet, and I feel like this is the beginning of that. It's a learning curve, is what I say. It gets you prepared if you want to take the bowling to the next level.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of players make a big jump and have some early success, but probably not the success that you've had the first couple of years. You've got, 11 regionals, 3 national titles in, 2 years? Is that kind of
almost going on 3 years. So it's definitely been a successful run, and hopefully I can continue that run.
And the gold medal. Sorry, I didn't want to forget about that.
That was the big one. Definitely look around. I was watching a handful of bowlers. A lot of guys started off well, and scores definitely were not as high as I expected. Or they were very tricky to start. A couple of guys picked it up.
I think some of the players got scared. They jumped deep too early, which is common, right? I mean, that's unless you've got, this is singles, right? So the coach isn't back there every shot telling you, like a team event, stay here, stay here. You know, so these, they are young kids, right? Their minds wander, and they see somebody striking for fourth arrow, so I'll move to fourth arrow. Yeah, I know. Not everybody can do that.
I just looking around, and I'm seeing a lot of 9 dashes, 8 1s, and just to knowledge, spares, they're a must, especially when scores are this low. Making your spares, nobody realizes a 4-bagger doesn't mean anything if you can't make your spares after it.
As Chris Barnes says, those 9 splits, those are tough ones, and they will kill you in this format. I mean, the scoring pace isn't huge. I mean, Charlie Reed, he's bowling quite well, but other than that, you can shoot 220s and jump 15, 20 spots a game.
Yeah, and and that's what I'm seeing like around. I'm seeing guys that are up there, and then all of a sudden, 160, 150 pops up, and it's just, they start to go in panic mode, especially with it only being 6 games.
And after 3, there's only 20, 21 players averaging 200 or better out of the 148 player field. So that's not very many.
Plus, it's a big house, so I mean, it's pretty a little chilly in here. Big house, so when you're making that big turn, it's kind of hard to have that second set of eyes when you're on the other side of the house, especially when you're trying to float in between bowlers and making sure that everybody can do the same thing.
Is there an advantage to some of the players that maybe have been in the center before, on lane play, understanding from the low end to the middle of the end of the house how it plays different?
Yeah, the one thing I view it is that sometimes when it comes to environments like this, it's, you just got to take a guess, but that's where it lies, where you try to go and watch your next pair. It's a little difficult when you're going from lane 57 down to lane 3, but, if you ever get the opportunity to watch, someone that you're following, any opportunity you're given, it's definitely worth a shot.
As mentioned earlier to our viewers, the difference in mindset for these players coming in, right? I mean, not every one of these 148 players walks in the door saying, hey, I'm going to win sectional. Yes, you would love to, but that's not your goal, right? I mean, some of these players need to realize, look, I need to get some experience. I need to learn. I need, what's the different mindset for the different tier of players here in this event?
Well, the way I view it when it comes to the singles part of this portion is that, yeah, you definitely want to come in and, make a name for yourself by making, the top 24. You want to go out there and prove that you can be with that stellar collegiate group of bowlers, but at the same time, you also can't get bent over about it because of the fact that, this is just the beginning of the weekend. You got a team environment the following day. So, if you let your mindset affect you just by this first couple of games, then it's just going to make your mind wander, especially going into the team competition.
Yeah, and as you mentioned earlier, it's just a completely different game than the singles environment. I mean, you have to work together, you have to communicate, you have to play the lanes together. You being on the left side is a little different as far as that goes, but you still need to hold your team up, right? Be a cheerleader.
Absolutely.
It's hard to explain if you haven't been in that team environment. Just go grab a bunch of friends and go out and try it sometime and see what kind of game you can put up in that Baker format, because it's different.
Right. And just being behind the team, like it's difficult sometimes seeing, your team just absolutely frustrated and there's nothing that you feel like you can do, but trying to stick behind them as much as you can, it's the best that you can hope for, and hopefully it can all turn for the best.
Well, and momentum swings, right, in Baker format. I mean, I was up in Wisconsin for the high school championships last weekend, and we saw teams 50-some down after a game and 2-game match come back. I mean, they had absolutely nothing on one lane, swap lanes, and all of a sudden, you could just see the emotions on the players' faces.
And I bowled collegiately, or I bowled my 1 year collegiately, and one shot definitely, changes that matter. I've been in those situations to where, you need pins to advance, and unfortunately I've made my fair share of mistakes to cost us that opportunity.
Here's a lefty out of Life University, Marietta, Georgia. That's a new school that I'm not familiar with. And he crosses over, but they all fall down. So right there, that's, in a team environment, that's huge, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Not the greatest shot. You got to break, you got to strike. Now the next person on the team needs to jump up and double or triple or, take that, to the next step there.
And I'm one of those guys that, if I go Brooklyn to beat my opponent, it's something I definitely not the most proud of when it comes to moments like that. But when it comes to, this environment where you just get a fortunate break like that, especially with how difficult the lanes can be, you got to take it and run as much as you can, shake your hands with your opponent afterwards, no matter how upset they are.
Still waiting for our final group here on 39 and 40. They are just finishing the 10th frame on 31 and 32.
Yeah, one of my bowlers out here, Kyle Gilbert.
Yeah, Kyle Gilbert out of Grand Canyon, Kevin Markowitz out of Weber, Lucas Vernon, Wichita State, Jofel Gaff out of UNLV, Verdante Moorhead from Life University, and Ryan Navarro out of Louisiana Lafayette headed this direction for their 6th and final game. So what's next on your bowling schedule, Jake? We got some extra frame events coming up. You going to go overseas or anything?
You know, it's been on the schedule so far, but, you know, I got a couple of tournaments up in the Northwest coming up. I got another couple of regionals, and then I got the Masters with the Elias Cup up in the middle of next month.
Oh, yeah. We'll be ready for that. Trip to Syracuse for the Masters and a trip to Bayside Bowl in Portland, Maine for the main event. You signed up in the singles?
Yes, I am.
So we got the draw party and then the team event. What team did you join this year?
Returning with LAX with, you know, all the international guys.
Yeah, Andrew Kane, another ASU alum on that team, and a lefty.
Yeah, me and Andrew definitely. We bowled the doubles, not too well there out in Columbus, but, you know, I definitely chemistry is what fills me and Andrew. So.
Yeah, the tournament at Columbus was a little tougher on the left side. How do you get yourself through a week like that, knowing it's every day you walk in, it's going to be a grind?
Yeah, and I had a gut shot feeling that it was probably going to be a little bit more difficult because me and Jesper led going into the TV shows the first 2 tournaments before that. But at the same time, it's, you know, you got to go out there in any tournament, no matter what the conditions are, and you just got to go out there and hope for the best. You know, if you don't bowl well, it's one of those weeks, and if you do bowl well, you know, you're gunning for the title.
And, of course, one of those weeks you were able to pick up the win.
Yeah, definitely.
What was that like? How'd that feel?
Oh, winning for the first time, it's a speechless feeling right there. Had a lot of support behind my back, and I couldn't thank them enough for it.
I mean, you've won a lot on the regional level. You won a couple other stops, you know, on extra frame. But what's the big difference winning under the lights live on ESPN?
You know, winning under the lights on ESPN, you know, you've been in the situation before winning the first time on TV, and I feel like, you know, I got the monkey off the back, especially with the U.S. Open, and it was definitely a heartbreaker. You know, as many times as people have asked that, you know, it really is unfortunate losing after having success, but at the same time, you know, it just wanted me to go out there and still make a name for myself.
Well, if there's a bowling fan that doesn't know who Jacob Buttriff is, they haven't been watching much the last couple of years. That's for sure. Two players from Life University up at the same time. Here's the first. Great to see all these new schools coming out. There's well over 200 collegiate programs now across the country, with more being added every single year. College bowling is continuing to grow. And Grand Canyon University is a great example. They didn't have a team a couple years ago. Ben Canfield got them going, and you're here helping them out now to help grow the sport and grow the school. And it's got to be kind of rewarding to be able to give back a little bit and help. I mean, you know what? One of these kids might be in your seat in a couple years. You never know.
Absolutely. And, you know, sometimes it's difficult, like, you know, seeing some of your closest friends that are bowling for this team struggle so much, but also it gives it back. Just try to help them out as much as I possibly can.
Greg Elliott here, along with PBA Tour champion Jacob Buttriff, are watching the final game. And we'll go right to the top four. Top four after the 6-game block will advance to Lincoln, Nebraska for the ISC Championship in mid-April. So the good news for 4 players is they get to continue bowling this year in college, but the bad news is they got 20 of the other best players in the country waiting for them once they get to Lincoln, and that's going to be a tough road for any of the top 24 to get through.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely going to be difficult, especially when you get all the collegiate bowlers all together and bowling the top 24. It's and if you just get that draw, it's like you just got to go out there and still bowl the best you can.
So we got Kyle Gilbert coming up here at Grand Canyon. What is it you work with these kids on? When you guys get to go back and do some coaching, is there specific drills you do with these kids? Things you like to see, things you don't like to see?
Well, definitely one thing that you always want to practice with kids is spares. You got to work on your spares. No matter as many times as you want to strike, spares are also a necessity in this game.
Sure.
So we give them practice. Just getting them to practice team games. Baker games. Just trying to get them in that environment of college bowling.
And as much as you're known to strike and lead fields by hundreds of pins, I'm not sure how many people realize that you won an entire event that you won without missing a spare in Las Vegas a couple years ago, right?
Yeah,
it was 17 games, something like that?
Yeah, it was. We bowled, 33 games total, and if I'm not mistaken, I had 2 opens through the whole 33 games.
Yes.
And they were, my last open, I think I went, if I'm not mistaken, 208 frames clean to finish the tournament.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, that's okay, I guess. But as many strikes as you're throwing, you're not shooting too many tough spares. That's for sure.
I didn't even realize the fact that I went match play clean until Randy Peterson brought it up when we did the introductions.
Yeah, that's the stat I heard. You went through match play 16 games plus the championship match. Must have been 17 games without an open. So if we get some pins set back up here on lane 38. Yeah, especially in this scoring environment, you just can't give away those, especially the single pins. I mean, the double woods are tough. We saw a 2-8, which was very difficult earlier, where the 2 pins slid over a couple inches to the right, and that makes it even harder. We saw a missed 5-pin, which seems easy, but on this pattern, it's not as simple as it seems. I mean, you got to go straight at that, and you can't hook at that because you just never know where it's going to go.
I have my certain tendencies, like if I know I'm going to miss a spare if I hook at it, I try to typically go straight at it.
We had some discussion with some of the people watching earlier about urethane. We saw a lot of urethane early. Obviously, that affects the way the pattern breaks down. We're still seeing a lot of friction down lane. You're known for using urethane, I'm going to 70% of the time or better?
I would go with better.
Well,
but
why do you do that?
I've always been comfortable with it, and it gives me the most consistent reaction possible. And the name of the game is to strike. Make your spares, sure. But you're going out there to try to beat everybody. So, and I feel like I've just had the most comfortable success with throwing urethane. And if I feel comfortable with it, it's just a matter of maintaining and keeping it up.
How was the season for, did you get a chance to spend much time with Grand Canyon this year? Was through the college events?
I joined late, and it was in courtesy to Ben asking me to come and help out. And, I got to experience, just building the relationships with the team as soon as I possibly could. First tournament was a college tournament out in Las Vegas. That went very well, and then just trying to build the success with the team as much as I can. And, we have a very steady program, and hopefully it can get better in the future.
Well, it's really good to see these programs grow and seeing, the professionals with success like yourself, Bob Learn, coaching a team now. Obviously, Shannon O'Keefe with McHenry. It's pretty obvious to see when you have programs with good coaching that they get success pretty quick.
Yeah, and I believe that's, just, having a coach like, Shannon O'Keefe. She has done an amazing job just, professionally, but she is an amazing person at heart. And, I watched her at Team USA World Championships, and needless to say, she definitely pulled something that I think was probably one of the top 5 coolest things I've ever seen in my life, and that's she was battling a lot with injuries, and she was feeling absolutely miserable. She made the trios for the women's, the gold rounds, and she stepped up and just put on an amazing display of bowling, and absolutely hats off to her and the ladies for winning the gold medal in trios. She definitely proved her toughness out there.
That's something maybe not the league ball understands either. It's not just throwing the ball. It's not the physical game, but the mental side. There's a lot.
Oh, absolutely. This sport is definitely mental, and as much as I've said it before, I've had my fair share of moments where, I've gone, 140s, 150s, and I'm just...
Yeah, that one time you shot 150.
It's definitely a struggle, and, you just want to bash your head in the car door, but at the same time, you just have to, regroup, because, a tournament's not done until the last ball is thrown.
Well, was it the first tournament in Akron? Belmonte just makes the top 24 and 24th, and then ends up
making the TV
leading,
show.
right? Yeah.
Or he qualified
fifth, something like that. Yeah,
he finished fourth.
Just finally got in, right? Just barely makes it, right? Just grinding out. Finally make it the last couple frames of the last game to get in the match play. So yeah, like I say, just don't ever give up. How are you adapting with the travel?
Just going tournament to tournament, it's definitely one thing I've always wanted to dream of was traveling, and just going city to city, experiencing what other cities are seeing. It's definitely just the traveling environments, something that I enjoy going out town to town to see, and the different bowling environments is what's pretty good to see. I love showing up a little bit early, seeing how the center is before I bowl in it, practicing before I bowl in it.
You got a favorite city you visited so far?
Yeah, I've been up to, the Bay Area in San Francisco. I've been up to Seattle a couple of times. Being on the West Coast in general is pretty amazing. I had my fair share of going to the Midwest. So I wouldn't say so much a favorite, but just it's all equal to how much I've enjoyed it so far.
Joseph Grondin out of Wichita putting a nice game together. He has been up towards the top of our leaderboard all day.
Bowled against Joseph a couple of times growing up in juniors, actually.
Yeah, that's the first time I've seen him. That's not a name that jumps out to me in my travels, but he's throwing it good, obviously, and doing just fine.
Young kid, he's originally from the Southern California area. Okay. Bowled junior bowling tournaments with him. He really impressed when he just started, going on a tear of, making top fives. Just pointing out the fact that, just because you're not winning doesn't mean that you're not making a name for himself. And that was one thing that Joe was he had a couple of titles here and there. He wasn't doing anything outrageous, but, he was making top fives. He was making every cuts at tournaments, and that's just showing the versatility level that he can prove too.
Yeah, it's definitely fun traveling the country and meeting new players and seeing, some players that may not have seen before, and that's one of the things that live streaming does is we get to see people just from the comfort of your own home as well, from all across the country and all across the globe, as we're streaming 4 sectionals simultaneously here today with the USBC, and a lot of bowling happening. I remember the first time that I guess not just me, but probably the whole country saw youth, remember, in New Mexico Open a few years back.
My breakthrough is what I call it.
Hey, I'm taking credit for that. It's all me. But that was an impressive tournament when nobody else had anything and you were just lapping the field. I remember people on the chat like, "Who is this kid?" I don't know, Jake something.
That was like about a month after I actually got my PBA card. It was my first big tournament that I went out and bowled, and I traveled with Ben. I traveled with Russ Ovia, who's just got his PBA card to start this year.
Got his first PBA 300 in already as well.
Absolutely, and just New Mexico Open was kind of like my breakthrough, and bowling against Frankie Lavoie, who's another one of our stars, our young stars in the PBA right now. Just kind of breakthrough, I guess, is what wanted me. The passion, I think, is what it was that I had so much success there. It just made me want to go out there and strive and bowl everything I possibly can.
Oh, you went on, what, 9 regionals within the next year after that, picked up a win in Lubbock, just a few things here and there. So that was a way to really jumpstart that career. A couple frames to go, we're going to be done with Game 6. Left side there, Joe Grondin. I've got to believe he's still on the top 4 with a game like this. I think he's got to be in pretty good shape to make the next round. Of course, the scores will be posted once this is all done later this afternoon. And we'll give you those top 4. He pulled it, but he got away with it. Oh. You got to like it when that happens.
Yeah, you got that. You throw that one shot, and then you just chicken wing it. You don't think you're going to get it back, and it peels back.
What do you got over here on 39, a 5-bagger? That is Kevin Markowitz out of Weber.
A couple of Weber International kids here. I know there was up in I believe the New Jersey area for that sectional.
Yeah. I think they qualified in Jersey. The teams did, but then some of the players. And that was the interesting thing we talked about is, if you're not with the team, you can go to any sectional you want. So some of the kids decided to come over here to Dallas, jump on a plane in Tampa and make the flight over, or they all popped in the car and drove, one or the other. It's a long drive, probably.
From Florida to here.
That's a ways.
It's a ways of a flight, too. So
1,400 miles probably or so. That's just a couple hours on your private shuttle that you got now.
It was a really short 2-hour flight to get here. Got in late last night, but got to the hotel and we were already in bed and ready to be up at 6 o'clock this morning.
We've got the ladies coming in, or the women's division. I keep saying ladies, but it's women's division at 3:30 this afternoon, and of course all weekend long. The team event, the Baker qualifying, 16 games of Baker. Top 4 men, top 4 women advance to the ITC finale next month in Lincoln, Nebraska. What's Grand Canyon University need to do to qualify in the top 4? You got a solid game plan, approach, or you just kind of wait and see? You don't know what the pattern is at all, right? So how do you kind of?
I think it's just a matter of getting him in the mindset to, it's not I, it's not. There's no I in team. So you can't. You have your one open frame, couple open frames here and there, but that the mentality I think is the biggest part when it comes to a team event. And if you don't have that, it definitely brings a lot down. And the last thing you want is to have your team feeling like they're out of it in game 2 when there's 64 games to bowl.
But it's definitely, as you mentioned, it's team, make those pairs. I don't remember exactly the situation or the event, but I watched a ladies team win an event a few years back and didn't have anyone on the team that averaged over 165 or so. But you know what? They made their spares. They kept the ball in play. They worked as a team. And that's all it took. Individually, they had no superstars, but as a collective, they got it done. And that's what team bowling is all about. And I'm sure we'll see a lot of that over the next couple of days.
Definitely going to be a pleasure to watch everybody bowl.
Well, Grondin finishing up on the left. We're guessing he's got to be in pretty darn good shape. He was in the top 3 easily, or top 4 after 3. Oh, come on, back to back. Fortuitous bounces for Grondin. I like that. Jeez. And Deadwood will get that out of there, and he'll finish up his 10th frame. Half a game to go on 39 and 40. Jacob, good luck with the team. Thanks for joining us here today. We appreciate it. And good luck this weekend with Grand Canyon University.
Thank you. It's a pleasure being here, Craig.
Coach,
Thank
you make him call you Coach?
Some of them good friends, but they definitely still call me Jacob.
Oh, all right. We'll let him go away with it. Thanks, Jacob.
Thank you, Craig.
Good luck this weekend.
Bye.
Well, hopefully everybody's enjoyed our coverage and enjoyed our chat with PBA champion Jake Buttriff. A lot of talent, that young man. A lot of success in his young PBA career. Joel grinding in the 260s. I believe he's safe. That's pretty good bowling right there. And you know, he showed you, he's got like what you got to do. Take advantage of breaks. .268, way to finish off the block. Kenya Chladek from Weber finishing up over around 37. And the string ends at 6 for Kevin Markowitz. Dante Moorhead, Life University. Clean up this 1-2-4. Left off his hand, left down lane. That's how I make single pin straight at him. Matt Dobbs out of UNLV. Ronaldo De La Torre out of Grand Canyon University. That ball rolls out. 4 does not go. Got a hook? It does. Oh, good shot. Joe Grant out of Wichita, the big game there, 268, and I believe he's going to make top 4. Keep an eye at bowl.com for all the scoring updates. Once all the sectionals are complete across the country. Stratford, New Jersey, Smyrna, Tennessee, Fairview Heights, Illinois, and of course right here in Dallas. Top 4 advance to the ISC finals. Lincoln, Nebraska next month. A couple of frames yet to go over on the right side of our screen. But don't forget, we've still got more bowling coming your way. 3:30 this afternoon, the women's singles championship qualifier here from USA Bowl in Dallas. Thanks everybody who's watched the whole show, who's interacted in the chat. I hope you enjoyed what we had to bring you. And it's just the start of the weekend. But it's getting close to lunchtime. Find a nice place here in Dallas to refuel. 9 split. That's still having fun. Not sure, Lucas. I don't know who's who over there. We got high game in 230s, low game 130. So we're somewhere in between, if that helps. Sorry, it couldn't be more help there. Ryan Navarro, Louisiana Lafayette. Gets away with one there. Couple frames yet to go. And this 6-game block is complete. Craig Elliott here for Bowl TV. On the call all morning. Women 3:30 this afternoon here, local time 4:30 East Coast. All the scores available at bowl.com. Find out who made the top 4, and I believe we saw one of the players with that 268 last game Joel Grundon on Wichita State. Pretty sure he's going to be there. Have to wait and see. Get all the scores updated. See if your favorite player made it. And enjoy these last couple of shots. And come back with us in just a couple hours for more here in Dallas at USA Bowl.
Come on, kid. What? No monkeys for that.
Imagine.
Dude, that would have. Oh, just wait.
Rip the jersey on live stream?
Dude, we don't need them anymore this year. He said bet here, then. Make it. Yeah, make it. We're more trace than Nate. Come on. That's all I did. Hey, nice meeting you, Dan.